Hey there, friendlies. How's up? Welcome to the 24th of June um, episode of my fantabulous live stream. Um, it's a day late after having taken a week off, so I feel that we've got some catching up to do. Um, Before we do that, I would like to say that this is the live stream where we. Hold on, I'm just making my YouTube page link up to the. Come on, fool. So dumb. Okay, the Bevies Blazing live stream where we have bevies, we have blades, crumbs, and we do, in fact, on occasion, discuss bushcraft adjacent things. So it is Fête Nationale here in Quebec, otherwise known as Saint Jean Baptiste. That's sort of the older generation way of calling it. It's a day off. So the reason I was not on yesterday was because in the smaller towns around Montreal, they do their concerts and fireworks and everything the 23rd, the night of the 23rd, so that they don't lose all their audiences to Montreal on this night, because the two biggest concerts in the land are in Montreal and in Quebec City. So last night we went to see a show. Well, sort of a fairground, right? There was eats. There were a couple of bands, and then at the allotted hour, there were fireworks, sort of ending off the main event, and then there was another smaller band playing on the church steps, because Quebec. Interesting thing though. So on this lake that this town was on, it's a very large lake, and there are other small towns around, and so there's the fireworks happening here, and I glanced over there, and the town all the way down the other side of the lake, I could see like little fireworks happening there as well, and that one over there. So it was kind of a graphical reminder that everyone in the province was doing the same damn thing at the same damn time. Anyways, so it was a good night. I kind of overdid it. I was standing up for the whole night, and I was moving around with Clem, and so I'm feeling a little sore today because I'm supposed to be taking it easy. I mean, I did take it easy. I didn't lift anything, but anyway. So that was that. It was a good time, and got to bed kind of late. I didn't sleep well, so I'm feeling a little tired today, and that's that. That's where we are. If you are in fact watching us time shifted to tomorrow or whatever, then it is no longer the 24th of June. But thank you for watching anyway. Thank you for dropping little comments down in the doobly-doo below, and stuff. If at any point tonight you love what's going on, this is the most fun you ever had on a Wednesday night, you can feel free to drop me a smiley thumb. And if any point tonight you really don't like what's going on, you think this is stupid, that's all right. A frowny thumb works just as well. It's all engagement to the algorithm. And if you'd like to help support the channel, keep that light on, maybe get me a new battery for the camera every now and again, then I invite you to right click on the join button. That'll open it up in another tab, so you can save it for later, take a look later or whatever, or you can look then, but you're not going to be missing the brilliance of my chat and the side chat right here, because it'll be a different tab. At that point, in that tab, you can see what is available to you at both tiers of the membership, what each tier gets you for your hard-earned cash. I just got a notification from YouTube when I logged in today that they're adjusting the price for Canadians. So here's what I'm going to do, because I don't like it. Well, I mean, it's so the Canadian price for the Scouts is going to go up to $4.49 Canadian, and for trackers, it's going to go up to $7.49 Canadian. Now, those seem a little high to me. It's just the exchange and everything, because like in US dollars, it doesn't change. It's still $2.99 and $4.99. So what I might do is drop that down to $3.99 and like $5.99, $6. I have to look at it because I don't want people to suddenly be shocked by this extra, like what is going on, and then dropping their memberships, because I really depend on you guys. Because YouTube sure as hell ain't giving us money anymore. I mean, there is, but it's not what it used to be. So I want to drop it down so that it's not a shock to those of you who are members. But I also, you know, I mean, I have to be realistic that, prices for everything are going up. Yeah, like Australia has gone up the same amount. Um, no change in Sweden, interestingly. I guess the exchange from the US dollar to the Swedish crown hasn't changed that much or something. But anyway, whatever. So with that, I don't know if those of you who are members, is there who are non-American members, is there sort of like a threshold price that'll make you just like, nope? Because that would be a good piece of information for me to know because here's the thing, on the 17th of August, it automatically goes to these new numbers. If I don't make an option, if I don't make an option, if I don't choose, like if I don't pick a number kind of thing, it'll just automatically go to these. So that's what I want to avoid. All right. Okay. Have we covered that? We're good. You guys are gonna drop some info, some attitude about it in the side chat. Excuse me. So let's see who's kicking back with us. Who popped in first? Who is a Mr. Peanut Trucker popped in right as I put this thing up at 8:45. Number one, first to say hi. And Christy, oh, I know exactly what happened there. Yeah, Christy and Peanut Trucker both popped on at the exact same time. So there it is. Christy saying hi to me. Hi, Christy. Christy asking what I was going to ask anyway. He is just south of Louisville, Kentucky. How's the weather tonight? The Busey's opened by us Monday. Busey's? Bucky's? Busey? I don't know what that means. What does that mean? What you talking about? What is that? What you talking about? Country Boy says, "Yay, it's Wednesday." I know it doesn't feel right. I know it. I know. I rarely do it, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do about next Tuesday, because that'll be the 1st of July, right? I don't know if we're going to be out partying, or if I'll be able to maybe do a Canada Day special. I'm not sure. What's coming to an end? Camping at a gas station parking lot is way out there. How many of you guys have read Seven Eves by Neil Stephenson? That comic by Peanut Trucker reminds me of something. Seven Eves sort of takes place in a not too distant future, where, I mean, the United States is kind of where it looks like it's headed right now. And like, big tech is sort of not taking over the world, but it really moves things in different places the way it wants to, despite in some cases local laws. So I mean, it's a believable book, but there's some action that happens in a gas station that Chris just reminded me of. Steve-O, how are you doing? I hope you're doing fine tonight. How's the weather down there? What's the temperature like? Country Boy says that he wants his truck back. Being a contractor in a Chevy Trax is inefficient at best. My dad used to use a station wagon. Had all his tools in the back. I mean, 1970s, 1980s station wagon, right? Even the 90s, there was some, you know, there were some fairly large ones. Oh, so you're still having issues with that truck? I remember that you brought it in to get some work done, but it's still they're still discovering stuff, or they're just repairing all the stuff that you had mentioned before, privately. Hey, there's Mr. Canadian. How you doing, Jay? I hope things are good with you and the family on this night of nights. Gonna go do some Apex, so just pop in to say hello and all you fine folks and enjoy the live. All right, enjoy the Apex game well. Canadian, 3 months to go before you hit 65. You go on to your prescription drug plan. After 46 years of paying taxes, your prescriptions get covered. Finally, get back all them taxes I paid for so long. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Good old 65, eh? And you're going to start your Canada pension plan. So are you just going to retire then? Is that like, are you going to, oh, you're going to go down to 3 days a week at work? Okay. So progressive retirement? Coast a couple of years, then pack it in. Fair enough. I mean, you've earned it, right? How you doing, Grace? Grace is here. So the night is that is not what you typed. Fair enough. Ah. Um, I'm all right. I mean, I'm convalescing, right? So there's a lot of stuff I can't do. I still I'm not gonna be able to pick up anything north of 5 pounds for another 3 weeks, which is awkward because I mean I've got all this time at home, which is great. I should be practicing bass every day and rocking, but they're too heavy for me to pick up. Damn it. Where's my destiny? I don't know yet. I don't know. Here for JDG. Cragged. I'm doing all right. All things considering. How are you? Where are you tonight? Not exact, just sort of state, province, region. And then I'll ask you how the weather is where you are, because I always do. Hi there, Destiny. Yes, we are live. A day late, maybe $1 short, but we're live. We're doing it. We're rocking and rolling. We're talking and cool stuff, I guess. Hi, Scott. Glorious was supposed to be Christy. I'm going to tell her you said that. um, how you doing, mister? It's good to see like so many of you on a Wednesday, because I know in the past, sometimes when I've had to postpone from a Tuesday to a Wednesday, like a bunch of you couldn't make it the Wednesday. So it's cool to see. I'm just trying to get comfy here. It's cool to see a bunch of you like here, even though it's not Tuesday. It's cool. It's hip. Okay, everyone's just sort of saying hi to one another. My glasses still look fabulous. Well, thank you. Mm-hmm. I think they make me look kind of. I don't want to say old fashioned, but like these glasses would fit in well in like Mad Men or something, right? Which is kind of what I like about them. But yeah, I'm liking them. I decided to 30 years of black square rims because of all the changes I've been going through this year due to that assessment I had. I figured it was time to symbolize that in a concrete way. to remind myself of the massive effort I'm putting in to trying to turn this into a renaissance of sorts rather than just a big drag. And so I'm pretty happy with them. I mean, looking at them, it still kind of throws me, but yeah, I'm glad you like it. As for the recovery, I still can't pick up much. I told everyone before that I'm still at 5 pounds or less for like the next 3 weeks. Um, the bandage is off, the tapes are off. I just have a big ugly scar that is slowly, slowly healing. There's swelling, it's a little itchy. Um, and like I can't submerge myself for another 2 weeks. So I'm glad that it's not too stankin' hot because I can't go in the pool. And I can't kick back and relax with a nice bubble bath. But all things considered, whatevs. It's gonna be fine. And purple blue piece. I really don't like the way this app cannot handle um, certain emoji. It really bugs me for something that I'm paying for. Anyway, whatevs. You guys are getting a lot of ads. What's going on? Yes, congrats on the semi-retirement, Jerry. I agree that 3 days a week is going to be a really good transition. 110s, so that's like what? 40, 43, 45-ish Canadian? Because isn't 41 Celsius 100 Fahrenheit? Do I have that right? Am I in the ballpark at least? Stupid Fahrenheit. Yeah, going down to the low hundreds. Yikes. Country Boy says we've had some of that here the past several days. Bucky's, giant gas station and convenience store. Okay. Like how giant? Bucky's. That was weird. Hey, Shawnee. Yes, I cleaned that desk and this desk yesterday. I'm really working at it because when I have a nice clean work area, I do get a lot more done. And I'm working down here instead of sort of in the common area upstairs, which means that I'm not messing that place up. So I'm really working hard at it. Like that's where I do my journaling. This is where I do my, well, obviously this, and gaming, stuff like that, computer stuffs. But yeah, buying that desk was probably one of the best things I've ever done. And do you see that? That is a sticker printer that my wife bought me for my birthday. That is one of the best damn gifts I've ever gotten. Damn it. I wanted to show you guys some of the stickers it was printing, but oh well. Hold on a second. I know what's going on. Yeah, my YouTube page is not muted. That's why. But yeah, I'm very. Hold on. Very happy. How you doing, Johnny? I'm trying to make some jam right now. Yeah, man. Man, I love that. Love a homemade jam. That's for sure. How much jam are you trying? What are you making? What kind of jam is it going to be? Tell me it's blackberry. Destiny says, "Be right back. Got to go see what glasses Jess had before these." You didn't notice? What? What? Sure have. I really, really have. I've been doing a lot better at keeping this workplace organized. But sometimes when life sort of piles up on me, I go back to just coming and just putting stuff and running and going away. I'm really trying to work on the, don't put it down, put it away kind of thing. Hey, how you doing, mister? What's on the agenda for this summer for you and Viv? What are you guys going to be doing? My summer is most likely going to be me wilting around because as most people here know, I just underwent hernia surgery on the 15th of June, and was told I cannot lift anything heavier than 5 pounds for like the next 5 weeks. But that doesn't mean that I'm right back to hauling rocks and stuff right after that. Like it looks like I'm kind of out of the heavy lifting for at least the summer. But I have a follow up with the doctor at some point soon, so we'll talk about it and see. The original repairs and upgrades just led to finding other things typical to a 15-year-old truck from the wet coast. Yeah, okay. All right, fair enough. That sucks. Hey, Beto, how you doing? How's the weather down there in Brazil? Shawnee, have I just been binge watching things and playing games? No, no. I have played a couple of games. I've been working through the Mass Effect trilogy again, but that's late at night. I've been doing things like journaling a lot, like making sure that I stay on top of my journaling. Some laundry, folding some clothes, like light housework. I did some like weird little repairs that I'd been meaning to do, uh, like on little things. I got a couple of those done. Like for instance, the phone mount in my car, the ball joint had the tightener had cracked, so it just kept flopping around. So I just like epoxied the crap out of it. So now my phone doesn't move, but like I angled it to where I want it to be, and then I put it in. Little things like that, you know. Okay, Mark, you're right about that. A day late and $5 short inflation. You're so right. Ah, Canadian. As far as the missus goes, well, the cyberknife machine was damaged at the hospital, so her radiation treatments are on hold until late August, as there's only one machine in the city. No. Ah, that sucks, dude. That is awful. Don't like that news at all. Oh well. Yeah, I get it. You're not saying anything else because what can we do? It's frustrating, but it is what it is. I get it. Yeah, that's true. Show us the scar. No, because it's still like a crusty scab, and I find it disgusting. Yeah, I'm also not one who loves scars all that much. You know, all the people waiting for life-saving treatments. It really is ridiculous. Yeah. Well, I was about to say something that could absolutely be read as political, so I won't. But um, all the governments we've had have been cutting and cutting and cutting, and that was me depoliticizing it because it's true. It's easy to just sort of say the conservatives or whatever, but it's all of them. It's the entire political class. They all need to be put out to pasture and replaced by people who actually care about people, rather than handshakes and big business. Anyway, whatever. Moving on, because I don't want to. Christy says I should be happy with the glasses. They looked fabulous. Yes, I'm very happy with them. And by the way, uh, I used a service that I've been using since I was like an underemployed freelancer. So like Sorry, I'm just trying to get comfortable here, people. It's tough because of where the scar is, like sitting, like it gets kind of uncomfortable. Um, all the frames, no matter which frame you pick, they're all $79. Like there's no brand name on them, right? I mean, they're made at the same factories, but no brand name. Um, and it's a nonprofit, so they were much more affordable than they should be, especially because they're progressives, and they were like $320 or something. I cleaned the mic. It's funny because I have a journal entry because what I do is every night is like today's gratitude, um, today's wins. The tale of today is just like what happened, and then in the center is like a prompt, which is not necessarily related to that day. It's just a writing prompt to get me writing something. And one of the prompts was like top 5 birthday gifts in no order, and they're all from the missus. This, like physical stuff, right? These um, headphones, these AirPods, that printer, that printer, um, something else, but just really good gifts, really good. Oh, I have not poured my beer. Is Paul here yet? I feel like I'm late. We're at 21:29, and I'm at a comment from 20. I'm like 8 minutes late. 74,000 square feet of store space. Somebody work that for me in square meters, please. 120 fuel pumps. 23% larger than a football field. Holy snap. Okay. Life's been busy. Just a lot of projects at the moment. I'm making strawberry jam. Yeah, I love it. I would love to. We have some strawberry plants. Oh, Shawnee. We have these 2 blueberry bushes. We've had them for like 5 years now. And this year, I see blueberries. This year, finally, there are blueberries growing. And like, they're in large pots. So like, it's not ideal conditions, I know. And, they sort of go under the deck in the winter and then come back out. They're on the, but anyway. I am very happy to say that we finally have blueberries coming in. So now it's a race between us and the birds, right? Destiny says, once you go blackberry, you never go. I love blackberries. Really do. Canadian misses his Z30. I do not know what a Z30 is. I can hear Betty White. I miss that woman. No plans. Okay. So so are you staying up north? You're not going down around Vancouver or any of that stuff? Country Boy says the blueberries at the farm I work weekends at are just ripening up. Can't wait to make muffins and pies. Man, yeah. We're not going to get like we've got two bushes. I knew I could get it out if I just kept on toot. Sorry, guys. I'm on a new ADHD meds as of today. Well, a new dosage of the ones I've been working through. And because I only went to pick them up at like 2 p.m., I'm still on them. But usually by the time I'm talking to you guys, they've worn off for the day. We're there from the U-Pick farm. You ate the ones in your garden fresh. I love wild strawberries, wild stuff like that. So no plans for the summer. Vivian and I spent a few weeks traveling, backpacking through Europe in April and May. Speedy recovery, bone broth and collagen are make excellent recovery. That is not a bad idea, actually. Bone broth. I'm trying to sort of do balanced meals all the time. So like, in fact, I've been working on that for months now. I've been fighting with my weight for like the past 10 years. Recently, my doctor got switched out on me, and the new one says about for my ADHD meds, and the new one says, look, do the lifestyle stuff. We can change your meds for sure, but I'm gonna wait. Let's wait until you make some lifestyle changes. because it's not going to have the effect we're looking for unless you've got, unless you're going to bed early enough that your prefrontal cortex flushes. So like that 7-8 hours a night. Get your weight down, bring your nutrition up. By the way, you're starting to have a cholesterol problem, so change that as well. Blah, blah, like all these things. And so I've been like, I start every morning with a bowl of porridge with some maple syrup. Usually we're out of maple syrup at the moment, so I'm using raw sugar, but like just a little touch because otherwise it tastes. But like handful of walnuts, and a whole swack of blackberries and raspberries and strawberries, sort of chopped really small and put on, and then just a little bit of milk, which keeps me stuffed until lunchtime. Like I don't snack anymore, and then I do something not similar to that, but like something very veg heavy, very sort of substantial for lunch as well, and I don't snack until supper time, and then supper is whatever the hell the family wants. And so I on January 1st of this year, I was 191 pounds, which was still 8 pounds off of where I had been before. So, I started for much of last year, I was 199 to 204 kind of thing. And today I'm at 179.5. Yesterday I was at 179.2. And that's sort of where I'm hovering around. But yeah, so I've been eating much, much better, which has made me feel better in all aspects of life. And it's in my post-op notebook, booklet. It does say to eat essentially the way I'm eating, get a lot of nutrients happening, keep the energy up because the body will just heal itself better. But I'm taking that note about the bone broth because that I hadn't thought of. Collagen as well. That was really boring. Sorry to give you guys the rundown on my diet. I was sort of riffing off of the comment from on the bone broth. No Paul tonight, eh? I mean, look, it's a different night than I'm used to, and he's used to, and everyone's. Yeah, I'm very, very jazzed about it. I do love gardening. I wish I had time to just spend all my time, getting my hands dirty. Oh, there's Paul. Bonne Saint-Jean, monsieur. Qu'est-ce que tu bois ce soir? Moi, je pense que je vais peut-être finir ça. Or a dram of this tonight. What are you having? Oh, I have not yet had tonight's beer. This is Bon Baiser de Prague. It's a Bohemian Pilsner. 4.9%, so it's a little light. I don't mind. I'm opening this carefully. And you know what? I'm going to open it over there. I was like, let's not keep this over my keyboard. One thing I will tell you peeps, is that post-op, I have destroyed my nails again. So one of the elements of my neurodiversion is that there are parts of myself that I cannot stand being touched on. Anywhere down the center, for instance, my wrists, my navel. And when I came out of the operation, because of where the bandage was and everything, I had thought that maybe they had gone in right there. And it was making me snaky. I was spent, 3 days straight. 7 days, because I took the bandage off on the 3rd day, as it says in the booklet, and then the tapes off on the 7th, and then discovered that no, the scar is right below the navel. But I was just snaky all the time, and I just destroyed my nails. Months of good work gone. Anyway, c'est une bière de Québec. Disney has a gratitude journal as well. Nice. Yeah, when I'm journaling, I don't tend to go into the negative stuff of the day. I want to end the day um, with the wins and the positives in my head as much as possible. Like there are some negative things in the journal because it's not the life I thought I was going to be living. But I really try to sort of concentrate on the good stuff because I go to bed in a better mood, and I'm doing this because my ADHD coach and therapist say that it's a good idea to just journal, and so I'm doing it. A gratitude is a really important part, I feel, because sometimes I really have to think, what the hell am I grateful for today? But there's always something always. Every day something goes right, even if you don't remember it, even if it's something really tiny. I made the most kick-ass latte this afternoon. Good enough, you know. Oh, Destiny saying hi to Paul. Yeah. Peanut Trucker says Buc-ee's is horrible. They don't let truck drivers shop there, and even the vendors that stock the shelves are not allowed to shop there when they work. We won't talk about the owner's son. What? Really? But how do they know if you're a driver? Like, they watch you leaving your truck, and you cannot shop here. I mean, what's up with that? How do they police that? Everyone's just sort of saying hi. Paul just got home. He wasn't lurking. Fair enough. The University of Saskatchewan series of cherry trees are such prolific trees. Romeo Juliet, Zone 2 forgot to properly water them last summer, and they still threw down the fruit. I'm in zone 5, I believe. 6? 5. Can I still drink or just less than usual? I need to drink less. I needed to drink less anyway. Now, I didn't have any booze at all until yesterday, after my surgery. Yesterday? Day before? Yesterday. So, and I'm fine. So yay, not an alcoholic. I should be drinking as little as possible anyway. Definitely will help keep the weight off and keep sort of the health in a good place. You use beef and chicken broth during your 3-day fast. Yeah, I got a buddy who uses intermittent fasting as well, and he's gotten some of the weight off. I wonder if long-term intermittent fasting is sustainable. Oh, you're having cognac tonight. Oh. I was gonna have one with you, but it's upstairs, and I'm not going upstairs. I'll stick with the whiskey. Which cognac are you having? Something special? Duolingo is on my ass because I haven't duoed yet today. I'm gonna do it right after we're done here. Oh, you're down to 185. Oh, you can't seem to get below that. I feel best at 175. So I struggled hard time around the same, around 170 to 185. 180, yeah, around 185. I struggled hard time too. Like it was just when the doctor said make all these changes, that the weight, that final 10, whatever, that final bunch of pounds came off, and I had been dreaming of being 180 for 10 years. So when I dipped below that to 179.8, I may have danced a little bit around the bedroom. I can neither confirm nor deny. Also, when I did cut my drinking down, that helped massively too. Because I mean, it's essentially all sugar, right? So you'd have to give up beer to get that low, but you're not willing. Fair enough. Wait, trucks are not allowed on the property. Large RVs are not allowed either. There's videos where they turn the pumps off. Even the trucks that deliver gas can't shop. What the hell? Why? Like, what kind of business plan is that? Why would they do that? Hardy Organic VSOP. I don't think I've ever seen that one. I have a. No, it's in the back. Oh well. Yeah, all right, I can't do it. You know what I should do, Paul? Is I should ping you before I go on every Tuesday. What are you drinking? And tailor accordingly. Yeah. What time are we at? 9:45. It's an okay beer. It's not bad. It's not like an IPA, thank the gods. It's just Pilsner's not one of my. It's not one of my ravey favies, you know. I like stuff that's a little darker, like a Russ, a brown, an extra special bitter, which is weird because I don't like the bitterness in an IPA. It's different though. Because they cater to families. Who cares? And it's a place I would never go to. They're just a horrible family. So they're one of those. We have a family up here. Wesson? No. What? What? Oh God! What are they? The guys who own the grocery stores and who were doing the collusion on bread pricing. What? What? Oh well. Look, Weston. Thank you, country boy. That's exactly what I'm. To quote somebody that most of you probably don't love, but who's a celebrity crush of mine for many reasons. Um, you can't earn your way to being a billionaire, right? That's not a self-made man kind of thing. And so these families with, these multi-billionaire families, you're not talking about people who are uniformly ethical. And I will step away from that in the name of just moving on. Hold on, before I say that, I went down to the fitness rabbit hole the last few years, had to make some lifestyle changes as well. Tracking your sleep score and training readiness has been a game changer. I track my sleep as well. Apple Watch plus the fitness, the health app, clocks everything, and I just sort of, oh, for God's sakes, you can hardly see it, but yeah. So as you can see, I've been going to bed very late lately, right? Because that's my sleep there. Those, so that I can like take a look at the week and be like, ooh, wow, okay, so next week I got to be in bed by midnight 4 times, and then and then build on that to let's make it 11:30 kind of thing. That's where I would like to be. 11:30 in bed, done. Some weeks are great, some weeks not so good. Yes, I've had 3 now. So I had the two brewers, the Yukon, release 23. Great as all two brewers stuff is. Absolutely. I had the Cutty Sark Prohibition Overproof. Much better than I was expecting it to be. Because I mean, I have a certain image of Cutty Sark in my head, and it wasn't that, which was great. I guess I've only had two. Yeah, like I have one at a time, right? So in fact, last night was probably my second night of having booze again. The night before was the first night. Yeah, very nice stuff. You've got great taste. Dave says, once I became aware of the things that were affecting your quality of sleep and removed that, that was when there was the biggest change in overall wellness and performance. Yeah. So what kind of things were affecting you the most? Like my caffeine intake is down. I have two caffeinated teas a day, and I have I found a decaf that actually tastes like tea, so I have that for the rest of the day. Because I was plowing through like 5 cups of caffeinated tea a day, and oof, 21:49. So it's almost whiskey time. So this is a 27-year-old. So I'm just going to pour it now. I would like to acknowledge the fact that I censored myself after saying this is a 27-year-old. Moving right along. Oops. Homie in the... Oh, my God. Homie in the house. What's up, guys? Got you in my ear making a bushcraft fire for the kids to make s'mores on. Nice. Nice. You using like a flint and steel? Using a ferro rod? I mean, at the end of the day, you can use matches or lighter, to get the fire going if that's, if that's your speed. If you got your tinder and your kindling and everything right. I just like to. I mean, I even start the barbecue with flint and steel or a ferro rod if I'm not feeling the flint and steel that night. I like it. Makes me happy. Makes me happy. It's so weird that. So you guys see how your names are showing up in colors, right? It's weird that the colors on the YouTube page are not the same as the colors in the app I'm using, in the whatever it's called, the Streamlabs Talk Studio. Yeah, exactly, Peanut Trucker. You're blue in YouTube, but you're green in the Talk Studio. And Paul is blue in the app and purple in YouTube. Homie is blue. Paul, I don't know. Peanut Trucker. This is the color of money. Blue is the color of money in Canada. Well, the fiver is blue. The tenner is purple. Do I have any money? No, of course I don't have money. What do I have in here? I like to keep some emergency money in my agenda. Oh no, I've only got green ones. So tonight, green is the color of money for me. Green, yes. In the States, green. Yeah. But yeah, if you're a $5 bill in Canada, you're blue. We should be getting a new $5 bill in 27, I think, with Terry Fox on it instead of is it Laurier on the fiver for right now? This is boring. Move right along, Jess. Come on. That's a kind of middle-aged guy talk. Oh, the finer things of paper money. Well, plastic money in Canada. You know, so boring. I'll be telling you about the birds on my bird feeders next. And then it's like one step towards using a cane or even a walker. Stroller? Walker. Where's Russell tonight? Yeah, we're all middle aged. Yeah, bunch of old fogies here. Yes, it is. It's Wilfred Laurier on the 5. Yeah, yeah. I'm waiting for that to show up in the actual. There we go. Up north of 60 says. Sorry, Dave says. Last meal of the day at 6. No screen time or blue light after 8:30. Blackout curtains in the bedroom with sleep mask on. Cool temperature in the bedroom. Pure magnesium glycinate right before bed. Yeah, I take magnesium. I was told to do that by the doctor. It works well with my ADHD meds to sort of induce sleep. I don't need the blackout curtains. I do like a cool bedroom though. Yeah, and I use a CPAP machine. All the girls are asleep. It's just us guys. Yeah, it's funny. None of the women are saying much. And bed by 9:30, sleep by 10. Made a big difference in your sleep. Yeah, yeah. Your health is pretty much all you got, right? I hope I'm past middle age. I sure as I don't want to be alive at 116. Fair enough. Ah, oh, there we go. There's Christy. How you doing? I think the boys are being boring. Is that it? 2154. Christy's slipping in the rankings. I see. I'm just sort of okay. I find it confusing to be looking at the YouTube page over there and the app here sometimes. Oh, Christy's multitasking. Okay. All right. Um, I'll let it go. I'll let it happen. Just this once. Yeah, I think I'm done with that beer. Sometimes I find these cans to be too big. Like, just make a little 355, you know? Destiny isn't a cheese coma. Land's sakes, brother. Just say the word. Oh yeah, Destiny. What was the charcuterie board tonight? We forgot to ask about that. Forgot to ask about that charcuterie. Is it possible that she didn't have one tonight? No, no, no. That would not happen. She would not do that. Although I broke the tradition by being on Wednesday instead of Tuesday, so maybe. Chrissy's ad, and I can't skip it. Crumbs. I hate that. The unskippable ones really bug me. I'm just waiting for that to pop up in the. Nothing wrong with a good cheese coma. That is true. Can't ask her. I can't spell it. Destiny, if you're awake, describe the charcuterie board tonight. Or did you have one? Did you have something different for supper? I could use a charcuterie board myself right about now. I'm not hungry. I don't know. No. I don't need no stankin' charcuterie board. No. Oh, I have tea. It's a good drink. good for what ails you. Spell it for me. Charcuterie. Tabernacle. Come on, fool. Come on, fool. There we go. There we go. I'm just gonna keep track of my heart rate and everything. At Mark Destiny. No, that did not work. Huh. Okay. Doesn't work if I do it in the chat. In the app. Why? My premium trial has ended? What premium trial? What are you telling me? What premium trial? Disable. Just go away. Yes, disable. Go away. Stupidness. I am trying to chat at Destiny, but it's not finishing my ugh, never mind. Is it 10 yet? I'm thirsty. 1 minute, man. 1 minute. That's a spicy meatball. I still have 21.59. $21.59. Oh, Destiny's back. All right. It's 10 o'clock. 2,200 hours, people. Here we go. Slanja. Let me read you, people. Oh, no. So this... See, it's got a picture of Pepper there. Well, for God's sakes, in front of the face so it doesn't... So this was a 27-year-old... I don't remember. But they threw a kilo of Scotch bonnet peppers in as part of the aging process. Obviously, it was a 27 that was not going to meet the quality standards that the Scotch Malt Whisky Society requires for their to bottle a whiskey. So they did a cask experiment. So it says a cask experiment combining whiskey and chili. 27 years in the making. We did it for the thrill of it. It's 100 mils. Yeah, SMWS experiment number 1, hot scotch. It's very spicy. Okay, now that Destiny's, like, does it only allow me to... Okay, so Destiny was not actually here. Like, the window was closed, because now it's because now it's finished. It's auto completing her name. What's the charcuterie board tonight? Oh, I forgot to put up question mark. Oh well. All right, up north of 60's out of here. Good night, Dave. Sleep well. Hope to see you again soon. Excuse me. Steve says, what is the buffering about? You might be in a place with weak signal on your end, because I'm not seeing any buffering. on my end here. So, Steve, how was the apexing? Oh, that is a spicy meatball. Just taking a look. Yeah, everyone's saying goodnight to Dave. Like, I wonder how this whiskey tasted before the peppers went in. Like, because there's a lot of whiskey that tastes pretty damn good that isn't up to the standards that the Scotch Malt Whiskey Society requires. But like, I wonder if, yeah. Paul says, you opened your 25-year-old Royal Brackla this past weekend. I think I saw that on the Instagram, and it's amazing. I can well imagine. Get you a sample when we meet, along with the nigga. Perfect. Oh, Paul, ping me after this. Ping me after this about something. I got up to pour my dram. What are you drinking that spicy? I am finishing this bottle here. It was a cask experiment with where they threw a kilo of cut Scotch bonnets into the cask of whiskey. I gave a large percentage of this bottle to Paul, and he loved it, or he liked it. I don't know if he loved it, but I do like it, but I would not have bought a full size bottle of it because it's almost a novelty dram. Tenjoy says, Jeebus, that's going to burn at least twice. It might. Well, the nice thing about this is like I can't down that dram too quickly, so it may mitigate things a little bit. You gotta like spicy for sure. Yeah, but I do like spicy. I don't like. How do I say this? I'm a great lover of hot sauce, for instance, but it's got to have flavor to it. I don't like it if it's nothing but the burn, because it's not about being like macho. I like, for instance, the hot sauces that Scott sent me, those many months ago. Those are great because they've all got like big flavor as well as heat. This one's got like, I don't know, blueberry. This one's got mango. When I make my hot sauce, I use Scotch bonnets or habaneros, but I also add in like pineapple and mango, right? Big fruit flavor as well as the heat. I'm trying to think of one. I had a hot sauce recently that I was like, no, this is nothing but heat, and I don't remember what it was. Fireworks in Paul's neighborhood. Nice. It's the night. It's the night for it. Yes, it was delicious, and you did love it. Yeah, it's I want to have it with cheese. Cheese and like maybe some pretzels or rusks or something. Some grapes. Like this is a whiskey that goes really great, I think, with a charcuterie board. Destiny, a charcuterie board. As in, what was yours tonight? Or did you have one tonight? I would also like to try making pickles. anyone of you who's eaten a lot of Haitian food knows exactly what pickles is. It's a Scotch bonnets and like a kind of a coleslaw kind of thing, like carrots and cabbage. Delish. Yeah, exactly. Like some cheese and like some saucisson. What the hell is a saucisson? You know, like a dry sausage, like salami, rosette de Lyon, stuff like that. Be amazing. I gotta really be careful and stuff like that now, though. Got to be careful with cheese and your cholesterol. Yep. I also got to be careful with red meat. Anyway, yeah. Hug of cheese. It sure sucks to be old. Gotta watch my blood pressure. Oh, I have an ad. Oh, and I can't skip it. Who else has an ad right now that they can't skip? I mean, you can't hear me. If you have an ad right now, you can't hear me. Okay, I did end up being able to skip it. And like, I don't have dessert anymore, really. Like maybe I'll have a few chips or something, but I don't. The rest of my family after supper, it's like I'm having ice cream, and I just don't want it. And this is going away, which is great because I hate it. Like that's the worst part of being a fatso for me. And I just want to make sure that it just keeps disappearing because I can see it here. Sorry, people. Sorry, everybody, just go to sleep. Like I can see it here, and I want to maintain that. I mean, I'm never going to be like dead sick, see, but yeah. Yeah, that was a mistake. Woo! Oh, no charcuterie board tonight. You say I wasn't sure, but I had a suspicion because we weren't Tuesday night. What did you have for supper? Yeah, that was. Whoo. Yep. Goatee hides the manly chin. Country boy, I cannot. Oh, country boy, I can't eat cured meats anymore. Sulfates wreak havoc on your guts. Yeah. I do miss them though. I used to love like a dry sausage, sliced thin on a piece of brie on like a cracker or what's it called? The not Melba toast, but the more interesting one. So the one that seems all Scandinavian, like a crisp bread. Hell yeah! But yeah, I mean, nope, forget about it. Can't do it. I still do on occasion because I love it, but not like I used to. There's all kinds of stuff that I can't eat anymore because it sort of upsets my tummy. Thank the gods I can still do garlic and onions. You know what I'm saying? I realize that I completely forgot to announce who's a channel hero and who's a channel mod tonight. Sorry, peeps. I'm out of practice, week and a day off. Oh, well. Where's Russell? Not doing it Tuesday nights means I'm going to miss some people for sure. Yeah, I don't have any messages saying, sorry, can't be there. It's not like I take, attendance though, right? So, whatevs. Yeah. I put the box of samples away. I was going to say, maybe I should have a sample, but I put it away. Actually, I don't want to do the samples on these live streams because, as I've said before, I don't I don't ever give the whiskey the attention it deserves when I'm on camera. So I take it this means not missing much. Not missing much, right? Yeah. Um. Country Boy says, only dried meats I can still eat are my own venison and moose jerky. I don't use pink salt though, so it spoils quickly. I do love, I do love some like some smoked jerky. I don't have a smoker, but I would love one. I do have a dehydrator. There's a boucanerie near where my mother-in-law lives. I don't know what that is. Is that a smokehouse, Paul? And sometimes we pick up their jerky and oh, love it. Absolutely love it. But yeah, like the sulfites and everything that go into the stuff with with the real shelf life, I guess, or the packaged stuff. I can't do it, you know. Country Boy has a smoker. He smokes his in white oak and alder. Um, a bucket list purchase for me is not the big green egg because it's ridiculously expensive, but the Kamado Joe, which is a big red egg, I guess. I mean, it's the same thing, but it's a different brand, and you can use those as a smoker or as a barbecue. I did, well, I didn't do. I was there to help do like a 10-hour brisket in one a couple of years ago, and you can just keep just a couple of chunks of charcoal in the bottom, have it going low, and just keep it going all day and smoke the meat. So I would like that at one point, but they really cost a lot and they're heavy, heavy. I wonder if we can do that in. We have a Vermont castings barbecue. I think I was building it on a live stream at one point, and I wonder if I can use that as a smoker as well. Howdy, not driving home yet. I work until 2 a.m. now. Oh, snap. Okay, Jim. That's not the best shift ever. Is that a permanent thing or is it just for the summer or what? Can you listen while you're at work? Probably not. Oh, that sucks. Till 2 a.m. Oh, no way. I mean, I did that when I was working at a bar, but I was working at a bar. Yeah, man, I feel for you. That's not great at all. And I say that as someone who, for most of his life, was at his best between like 1 and 4 in the morning, right? But anyway. Oh, it's permanent. Oh, Jim, what the hell? How close are you to retirement? I'm looking for. Yeah, I could use a charcuterie board. Bunch of grapes. Maybe a little brie or a little camembert. Some crunchy crackers. A little salami. Mm. Countryboy says, just gonna say you need to retire, Jim. Yeah, because God. So what time do you start at if you finish at 2 then? Is that like a start at 6 kind of thing? No, 6. 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. Yeah, do you start at like 6 p.m., 6 or 7 p.m.? Oh, I get it. It's 410, so you get Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So it's a 4-day work week. 4 10-hour days. Okay, I get it. It still feels. It seems like a really rough. You start at 3:30 p.m. Okay. Wow, 3:30 to 2. Yikes. Peanut sugar. Charcuterie, yay. Autofill. I love it. Hmm. Yeah, so Jim, I guess you're gonna have a hard time being at the lives from now on, eh? Like I don't really remember what I I'm not I'm not sure if we ever discussed what you actually do at work. You sort of hinted around it. Um, but is it the kind of thing where you really cannot have even the audio on in the background? Country Boy says, still a shit shift. It takes 3 days off to recover from then you start it all over again. Yeah. Yeah. That's tough. Yes, it is time to retire, but you still have at least 3 years. Oh, wow. Can I move the lives to 2 a.m.? Yeah, on a Wednesday morning? No, definitely not. I mean, yeah, at least it's 2 a.m. my time zone, but God, no. I mean, that's when I go to bed. Just kidding. You're eating lunch. When did that change happen? When did you change to these new shifts? Because, like, that first week must have been a nightmare. Like, as you get used to that different shift. Because that's a bunch of hours later than usual, right? Because I remember you sort of driving home around halfway through my live stream. I mean, so it's still a pretty late work day, but whew, two. So I guess you can hang with us at lunchtime on Tuesdays around now. So when you work that kind of shift, I guess you really have to make sure you bring your lunch too, right? Like I'm guessing there's no like bistro or something nearby that you can just buy your lunch at. Jim has an ad. I don't have an ad right now. Country Boy says, I changed my schedule to watch a 2 a.m. live or just call in sick every Wednesday. Okay, so it's been 2 weeks, and yes, you do need the Friday to recover. Yeah, so it doesn't even like it's not even that you get that Friday in a real sense, right? Because you're a zombie for most of it. Peanut Sugar says, I'm too old now for 2 a.m. Yeah, me too. Absolutely. Yeah. When I have, gigs on the weekend, I'm a wreck until Wednesday, you know? Anyways, I mean, I guess it is what it is, Jim, but I'm really sort of here that you've got that shift. That's no fun at all. I'm gonna have a little bit of this Alberta rye that Destiny turned me on to, because I think of any whiskey I have that I'm going to put into a glass that had a spicy whiskey, and a rye is probably the right way to go. I'm not going to have a very large dram though because I just had whiskey, and I'm trying not to, end the lives 3 sheets to the wind with like 4 drams in my belly. Country Boy hasn't seen 2 a.m. for a long time. Unless you have to get up to PM. For those of us of a certain age, that is always a possibility, isn't it? Just as I'll get used to it. When I started at this company, that was what you did. Okay, okay, so you know what it's like. The world's a different place at like when you're driving home from work at like 2:20 a.m. kind of thing than if you do the straight 9 to 5 thing. Yeah, I don't know. Mark is out. Ladies and gentlemen, I bid you good night. Thursday starts early for me. Yes. Okay. Good night, mister. Thank you for hanging with us on the off day. And I will see you hopefully next Tuesday. If we're going to see fireworks or something for Canada Day, then I'll probably do Wednesday again next week. But I'm not sure yet. We might do a Canada Day special. I'm not sure yet. I'll let you guys know. Everyone say good night to Mark. And thanks for hanging with us, Mark. Always good to have you around. Excuse me. I'm just making sure I didn't miss any of the side chat. Nope. I think we're okay. Now we're down to 11 people still watching. So I mean, if maybe I should sort of shut her down early, we can do that as well. But I will keep going for the moment. Although I do feel myself getting more boring as the time goes on, as the minutes tick by. It's like, oops, he's running out of things to talk about. Nobody said anything about my about the information I got about the price increase on my memberships. Nobody. I asked you guys what would be sort of a cutoff point. Country Boy says no, shut down early. Okay. Or did you guys have any opinions? Those of you who are Canadian, because this doesn't affect Americans. Did you guys have any opinion about what I said about the price that I would try to set it at? Because I really don't feel that allowing the default $449 for scouts and $749 for trackers, like just allowing that to suddenly happen, because that feels like it's a big jump. I don't really know though, because I don't pay for my own, like I don't have a membership to my channel, so I don't know what. Like in American money, it still stays at $2.99 and $4.99. So it's absolutely, it's just like an exchange thing. They're going to, they say that they're going to update this sort of once or twice a year kind of thing. But Christy celebrates 46 months of membership, almost 4 years. And Christy's membership is not affected by this price jump, which is good. $46 months. Thank you for your support for all that time. It's nice to know that you feel that the content is worth helping out, helping the channel out. So the extra spice that was just sort of like lining the glass from the previous dram is actually working really well with this rye. Country Boy has been a tracker for 38 months. Nice. Hey, and you used one of the emoji I made. Oh, my emoji don't have a transparent background. Interesting. I should look into that. Wouldn't matter if it jumped, says Christy. I mean, maybe it wouldn't. Maybe it wouldn't. I'm worried about nothing. Yeah. I mean, another thing I can do is, like, if I forget about this, they're going to adjust it to those numbers on the 11th of August, I think, or the 17th of August. And if I suddenly start losing memberships, then I'll be like, oh, Christ, it's because I forgot to do that. And then I would maybe drop it down then or something. I don't know. I won't be thinking about it for tonight because, I've got other things to think about tonight, like sleep and doing my Duolingo before bed. I've still got time. Still got time. I wanted to show you guys this earlier. There's only 9 of you left. This is my fire kit. I forgot about it. Do you guys want to see it? I should have made a or should I do this next week because we're like half an hour until the close? Should I save it for next week? I had it sitting next to my desk purely by accident. I didn't plan this out. I'll do it next week when everyone's here because I forgot about it tonight. Somebody remind me next week that I was going to do the fire kit, because if I forget, that'll be embarrassing. But not unheard of for me, right? I wonder how that cognac that Paul's drinking. Country, I loved Clem's dance at the fireworks last night. It was adorable. Yes. It was so beautiful to see that shy little girl just forget it and just be in the moment for the whole night because there was a band right there. That kid danced so much and so hard and just didn't care that people were watching. She slept really well. Yeah, it was great. It was a beautiful thing to see. I was very happy about it. Did I get knocked out for my surgery? Yes, I did. They put a needle in my arm, asked me some questions. I answered them, and then I woke up. I heard Jesse, and it was the nurse saying, "So we've called we've called your wife. She'll be in soon." And that's what needed to happen because I would have been way too grossed out. I've had one other surgery before, and I was awake for that. It was the one you get when you don't want to make any more babies. Because I was afraid of them cutting the navel, which they didn't do, and because I'm so neurodivergent about being touched in certain areas of my body, I would have been unable to stand it if I'd been awake. So yeah. I woke up and what? I didn't feel great. I was not nervous because I remember the week before one of you guys asked me, "So are you nervous?" And I was like, "No, but I'll probably be nervous Sunday night." I wasn't. I went in. I was not nervous. I was sort of joking with the nurses and stuff. In some ways, it really, really pays to be as emotionally dysregulated as I am, because I was not a ball of nerves at all. At all. Okay, if I remember, I'll ping you to remind me. Yeah, me too. I'm glad it went well. Yeah. Minor surgery. I mean, long recovery because of the nature of what happens, of what happened, the reason for the surgery. But it wasn't like there's no danger of like going in for hernia. Wow, that was a weird glitch for a hernia surgery and like dying on the table or something like that, But yeah, it's very good and tasty. Yeah, I don't very often have like cognac neat. Do you often have it? Are you having it neat or are you having it? I don't like. Do you have cognac over ice? No, I think it's something you either have neat or in cocktails. I virtually always just use it for cocktails. I don't actually know. So I was the first surgery of the day, so I had to be there by 7. They wheeled me into the room. They didn't wheel me in. I went into the room and climbed up on the table about 8, and then I was awake again at noon. But that doesn't mean it took all that time, right? I mean, you were asleep for a while before you pop out, before you come out of it. So I don't know. I don't know. And I forgot to ask. I had a lot of questions because I'm always very curious about the hows, about the processes. Like there are two ways you can do a hernia, right? You can either do the incision, or for, it turns out, larger hernias, they do like 3 small holes and put devices inside. But like the booklet didn't tell me why they would choose one over the other. So I was like, what's the deciding factor here? So the doctor said that for a much larger hernia, they usually do the 3 tiny incisions thing. I mean, for a minor surgery, a minor hernia will still knock you out for a while. I mean, out of work, right? A month out of work kind of thing. So God knows if it had been like a major hernia, what that would have entailed. Questions are a great thing to have when going into surgery under general anesthesia. Yes, I agree. Absolutely. We're down to 6 people. 6 people sticking it. Well, is it going to be 6 people sticking it out to the bitter end? Did anyone count out how many thumbs ups I got tonight? You're having it neat. Okay. You don't usually have cognac, but tonight you decided to open this bottle and you're enjoying it. Do you do a lot of cocktails, Paul? I forgot to ask that last time you were over, because I made one and we sort of talked about cocktails a little bit, but I don't remember if you ever said that you do a lot of cocktails or if you mostly drink stuff neat. I do like making cocktails. I may like making cocktails more than I like drinking them, in fact. I'm not entirely sure about that. Because here's the thing. When I do my cocktail lives, I pour half of each drink down the drain, no matter how great it is, with some exceptions, purely because I don't want to get 3 sheets to the wind, right? But I enjoy the process of making a drink. I enjoy it a little bit more when it's a mixed drink than a shaken drink. Especially right now, I can't shake anything. Like if I was to do a cocktail live tonight, it would have to be mixed drinks only, or build in the glass, old fashioned Negroni, stuff like that, because I can't do it. Jim is still here and thumbed up. Thank you. How many thumbs ups do I have, Jim? Can you check that? Maybe I should do a cocktail live one of these nights. No, you're lazy. Okay. Fair enough. I want to get some new bitters. My wife gave me $100 gift certificate to Alambica for Christmas. So there's a couple of things I'd like to pick up, but like I'm pretty well supplied in the cocktail implements department, except I would love those, those syrup bottles that are all over cocktail TikTok or YouTube or whatever, where you can unscrew the bottom to clean the bottle. But they don't sell those at Alambica, and they're $50 each Canadian kind of thing. I'd like 2 or 3, like one for just straight simple syrup, one for a honey syrup, maybe one for if I decide to make my own orgeat again. But yeah, being able to screw off the bottom, that's cool. But there's still I guess whatever's the name of the company that makes them still has the copyright or trademark or whatever the hell it is, because they're the only ones doing it. Success. Yeah, Homie was making a fire so that his kids could do s'mores tonight. Country boy, I'm with you there, Paul. I'm far too lazy to mix a drink. I like it. I like mixing drinks. I'm very into process in certain things. It has to be something I'm interested in. Like if it's something that really bores me, then I'm not really into the process. But if it's something I'm interested in, I love a little process, a little pageantry, you know. Um, like I would never want to be a flair bartender, but if there were a couple of flair moves I could learn, like just even something simple, like twirling the cocktail spoon or the mixing spoon or something, it would add to my videos in a small way, 14 thumbs ups, okay. Um, Country boy. Oh, I have an ad. Is it skippable? Is it skippable? Not. Is it skippable? Pour toujours. Laurentians. Not skippable. Second ad. Also not skippable. There we go. Boom. So one thing I will say is that last night at the Saint Jean celebration, I'm pretty sure that with that much exposed skin, because we are talking about young Quebecois women, around 20 and younger or whatever, but I mean, whatever. The mosquitoes were probably having a field night. Okay, so yeah, Country Boy's bartending certificate comment is the last one so far. So I'm caught up. I wonder if I would like to take like a bartending course of some sort. What I have a hard time doing is creating my own cocktails, like getting something nice and balanced. A lot of the cocktails I've designed, I don't love. Some of them, every now and again, I put a banger into the world for sure, but not all of them are really all that good. And I would like to develop that ability more than I currently have it developed. Yeah. Like being able to match tastes better than I can. Look, at the end of the day, if you want to make a new cocktail, pick one of the 6 templates and do a riff on it, right? But that still isn't a guarantee of success, right? I mean, you still have to do the work of like, maybe this requires 3/4 of an ounce of lemon juice instead of a half, or whatever. Maybe this requires rich simple syrup instead of 1-to-1, stuff like that. And I need to work better on stuff like that. I just wasted a lot of energy and bottles on trying to come up with a riff on the orange whip for a challenge that a TikToker had put out, and I failed miserably. I could not come up with a good drink. Yeah, it was too weak, so I tried to save it by adding bitters, but I was like, nope, no, now it just tastes like shite. And anyways, I would like to be better at designing cocktails. I wonder if there's a course I can take that's geared towards creating cocktails rather than just like knocking out the classics, because I'm pretty good at knocking out the classics. I'm not great at having an encyclopedic knowledge of the recipes in my head. There's a couple that I have, but I mean, I'm not there, right? I'm not that person. I'm not him as the youngsters say today. When it comes to just knowing all the recipes, I don't have that. But I'm not working at a cocktail bar, so I don't care. What I want is to be able to come up with a fabulous cocktail. Country Boy says the course was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it 40 years ago. Just didn't realize how hard it was to get a job at that time. Yeah, the thing is, um, look, it's not impossible to get a bartending job. You got to be really good with people, though, and I'm not. Right? I have severe social anxiety, which we now know is because of being wired differently. So it's although I did work at a bar, at a pub, mostly bussing tables, but then I worked in the kitchen as well. I pulled pints a little bit, and when I'm at work like that, I can sort of banter a lot more than I can if I was just sort of sitting next to you at a party kind of thing. Like, so what do you do? My wife saw me in action working at we were when my wife and I met, we both worked at a Starbucks. I had burnt out of tech the first time. I was working part-time at a bar, part-time at a Starbucks, and she was my boss. And I guess she saw how well I can banter with you while I'm making your drink or whatever because I'm doing something because there's business happening. Business in the theater sense, not in the business to business sense. And so when we got invited to a cousin's party in my family, where it was just the cousins, no aunts or uncles invited, no children, she saw that I was like, oh my God, I have to be social and I have nothing in common with my cousins, kind of thing. And she's like, let's find you 2 holiday themed cocktail recipes and make one up and bartend that night. Bring the bottles, bring what you need, bartend. And she was right. She really nailed it because while I'm making you a drink, I can maintain a conversation with you. I can be funny. I can ask a bunch of questions. You will feel that I am very much interested in what you have to say. Whereas if I'm at a party and sitting in the corner, I don't have the ability to save myself socially in the same way, I guess. And so when we went to the cousin's party again this year, for Christmas last year, she gave me a portable bartender's bag. So like little spots for a few bottles, shaker, mixing glass, stuff like that. You know, your bitters. And so I brought the bag, and it sort of flops open so that you've got like a little area to work and everything. Great gift. But yeah. Paul. That was amazing because again, when I'm playing bass and standing on stage, I can sort of throw some banter every now and again, depending on my mood. But between sets, when I'm not hiding behind a bass or a microphone, it's much harder for me. Anyway, so like Paul, so I go pee. I'm playing at Hurley's, and Paul says, "Jesse, right?" I said, "Yeah." Dribs and drams. Yeah. So he introduced himself, and we had been following each other on Instagram. Anyways, it was funny. So we took a selfie together, and I posted it. But that was the first time I'd been recognized for dribs and drams for sure. That was so cool. Anyway, says at that point, I didn't know I hated people. I understand it now. Fair enough. I thought I hated people too, though. I really did. I thought I was antisocial. And everything became clear last year. Everything became clear. I don't hate people. I just don't understand them. And I protected myself for years by falling back to I hate people. And I don't. I don't. I really, you know. Jim is going to step away for a few to make sure his crew is being productive. Okay. Kendra Boy says, that's weird, isn't it, Paul? Who would do that? Yeah, exactly. And you know, you have like when you've been playing pub gigs for a quarter century, you get really jaded about it. Like, you know, every night you walk in to take a piss, and a bunch of, not necessarily drunk yet, but guys they're out and they're having a good time. Somebody always says, "So this is where the dicks hang out." It's like, God, I've never heard that before. Fuck off. You know what I'm saying? Like this, there are certain things that happen that are said every weekend in a bar, and if you're not careful, it can really color. It makes me think that we're not all the unique snowflakes we think we are in some ways. We are in other ways. Everyone's unique, but in some ways we're really not. It's the same dichotomy I often have when I say that nobody's really as interesting as they think they are, and yet crazily everyone's actually a lot more interesting than they think they are. It's just that the context is not the same, I guess. Like I often say, and I will never stop saying that, as a living, breathing human being, you're an ambulatory miracle. The vast amounts of luck that had to be poured into the trajectory that ended with each of us being alive through 3 or 4 mass extinction events in the Earth's distant past, which, when you're talking about millions of years, this unicellular thing turns into this like mammal, this tiny little mammal that eventually turns into apes and humans. And like the fact that each of us are here means that we won the lottery time and time and time again. Because it's not just, the Permian extinction and then 66 million years ago, the asteroid. Well, although that took out dinosaurs, but left mammals. So, but it's also the millions of people whose lives ended in World War I or World War II. Like, how many Einsteins did the world never get to see because of that? Because either those people entered the army at like 16 and were never around to make their discoveries, or the people who they might have given birth, who they might have helped to give birth to down the line, would have become artists and scientists and all this stuff, right? The Holocaust of the native North Americans when Europeans arrived with their smallpox, the Black Plague that devastated Europe, ended entire family trees. People who aren't here because their parents weren't here, because their grandparents weren't here, because of blah 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 blah. Back to entire families being wiped out in the Black Death. Every one of us who's here right now, listening or speaking or typing, is an ambulatory miracle. And so if you do your 9 to 5, come home exhausted, eat something packaged in front of so you think you can dance, go to sleep, get up the next day, do the same 9 to 5, come home, eat exhausted in front of this crime documentary, and then go to sleep. Get up the next morning, do this, and it's nothing but that. I'm not saying we all need to be famous, but we all have something that we can bring the world in small ways, like the people around us. This person knits the best hats because she comes home and she knits hats while she's watching TV or whatever, or something bigger or whatever. And maybe I'm saying this because I have creative impulses that I have been burying for as long as I've been doing 9 to 5. But I think that as an ambulatory miracle, you're given a really good hand. And it's up to you to sort of turn that into something. Maybe it's something as small as what I'm doing here on YouTube. I mean, this counts. I think this is legit. I enjoy what I do. I make a very small amount of money at it. But I get to talk to cool people who I never would have met. Working, eating, sleeping, working, eating, sleeping, you know. How did I end up on this? How did I end up on this? I was headed somewhere, and then I lost the plot, and I have no idea. It had something to do with me thinking that I hated humans, and I realized I don't. Sure, sure. I'll send an email. You just forward it. But I mean, the thing is, you can either engage with that or you can waste it, right? And a lot of people do waste it. A lot of people really freaking waste it. And look, some people don't make it, right? Some people are. I was brought up with the philosophy that the universe will not really send you a life that you cannot handle. It may test you a lot, but I realized later that it does give certain people a life they cannot handle, and sometimes they just don't make it. You know, there's grit involved in getting through this thing we call life, but there's also a really wide gamut of things that the universe can throw at you, and sometimes it really is horrifying. No judgment to people who can't meet the task head on if the task is just unsurmountable. I'm going to move on from this because this is getting all maudlin and shit. And I don't want to sort of go down memory lane. But I will have a very small dram to finish the night off. There's only 5 minutes left. And I feel like I'm getting all like, why are you talking about this stuff? And it's because somebody said something that made me go down this route. And oh, that's not where I meant to end up tonight. Here we go. Sláinte. There's a lot of people I work with that are far from miraculous. Well, maybe they're the people I'm talking about who kind of waste it, you know? Look, I'm not saying you have to like everyone. There are people on this planet I do not like. And I don't just mean people on the news. I mean, there are some people who I interface with on the semi-regular who I just have no time for. Right? So I don't want to make it sound like everyone's a beautiful snowflake. No, I mean, some people I don't like. I do default to the philosophy that everyone is basically good, though. With some shading on that philosophy, obviously. Because there are people we know are not. But I mean that when I say everyone is basically good, I mean in general. You know, people generally want to be happy and don't want to hurt people. Very few people wake up in the morning and say, "Today, I shall be evil." It's just too bad that some of the people who do happen to be in power in this world. There's only like 3 minutes left, people. So if anyone's got anything hilarious to say, drop it. Drop it right now. Drop it. I'm just waiting for somebody to say something. I mean, there's a whole 6 of us left, but the last comment was at 10:54. Was it you, Country Boy? Are you the reason why I went there? I went down that awful rabbit hole that seems to have, you know, lost us three viewers. Is it your fault? Why you gotta be hating? Why you gotta be like that? Why you gotta be like that? Just go to sleep now. Welcome to the ASMR moment. I was surprised at how many, like, I was like, haha, ASMR. Maybe I should do an ASMR channel as well. Excuse me. How many of you who are left know who Pokimane is? Pokimane? She's like in the game space, like a Twitch streamer, but she's also on YouTube. Lives in LA probably. She's a Canadian citizen, but she lives in the States. One of the one of those houses where the streamers live. I didn't know about Pokimane at first because I came across her first on her second channel, which was Poki ASMR. I don't do a lot. I don't listen to a lot of ASMR, but every now and again, when I'm having a real hard time getting to sleep, I pop in. I pop an ASMR channel on, and it'll usually knock me out. Though I don't get the tingles very much the way people are expected to. It's her channel. She's got a really good ASMR channel. And it was only later that I discovered her main channel, which is Pokimane, which is about gaming, but like she's a sort of a live streamer and not all that interested in the content, to be straight with you. I don't watch a lot of gaming streamers, by which I mean any. But her ASMR stuff was good. It didn't hurt that she's very easy on the eyes. Young though, like she's in her 20s. I mean, so I kind of feel like I can't even look, But the beauty about these ASMR channels is I kind of don't care what they look like, right? I'm not one of these people who watches an ASMR channel. I put it on, put my headphones on, and close my eyes. So don't care. Why am I talking about this? Why am I talking about this? I get sort of, to quote someone, that my stream of consciousness needs a beaver dam. I was going somewhere again, and it's just gone. It's just gone. Oh no, you got a skunk fight going on. That sucks. Close the windows. Like Lola. Right now. Who's still hanging? Oh, we're at 2301. Time to shut her down. Whether I'm doing next Tuesday or Wednesday, I will let you know. I will let you know why if we're putting it off. No, stop. I'm adding complexity. Here's what I'm going to do. If I'm shifting it to Wednesday, I will put a note in my community tab and on Russell's Discord, because I'm still not big enough to do my own Discord. If we're going on as usual, then maybe we'll do a Canada Day special, because I believe it's going to be Canada Day. Everything I'm saying right now is going on the belief that like July 1st happens on the same day of the week as the 24th of June. Whatever. So if you hear from me, it's because I'm shifting it. If you don't hear from me, bring your maple leaves and Canadian whiskey or beer, whatever. So between now and next time, please, everybody, I'm grateful that you hung out with me. I'm grateful that you do hang out for me. I'm grateful for the memberships. Until next time, be happy, be sane, be safe, be healthy, and be kind to one another. Good night, everybody.